My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Good morning and welcome to Joe Knows South Lake. I want to say thank you for joining us. I am Joe, obviously. Today on the show, we're going to have some really exciting things for you. First, we're going to talk about hurricane relief. We have gotten back to normal somewhat, but a lot of people haven't. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about scams to avoid. Unfortunately, there's a lot of dirtbags out there taking advantage of people already. So we're going to talk about scams. We're going to talk about buying local in our Cup of Joe segment. Always important to support the people around you, but again, we'll talk about that later. And today, as our special guest, we have Brittany Misciagno. She is the office manager and escrow officer for the Mizz Title Group. Title is something very, very important when you do real estate. And she is here because we are introducing our first episode of Homefront. All Thursdays are going to be all housing or real estate, and Brittany and title is very, very important to that process. So we're going to say thank you to our sponsors. We're going to hear a message from them. We'll be right back, and I'll see you in a minute.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support Local Pro Wrestling live.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
And that's a word from our sponsors. I want to say once again, thank you to our sponsors. It doesn't happen without them. People like Mary Rhodes at the Mortgage Firm, standing behind me for years. The Local Pro Wrestling doing such a great service to the community. It really is. And Erica's Tea Room is just amazing. So I just want to thank them all for being sponsors. I know you just watched the ad, but still, it's different when you hear it from Joe. I am truly grateful. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, the hurricane is over for us. The hurricane has moved on up the coast, and I've heard some things, actually some really neat stories coming out of this. I heard, I think it was Stewart or Port St. Lucie, the police officers there rescued a dog as somebody just couldn't take care of this puppy for the storm, so they went out and rescued this dog, and one of the officers actually adopted it. And Jay, what do you suppose they named it?
I'm going to go with Dorian.
Dory. So they would always remember. Yep.
Did I? Okay.
You got it. Hey, you win the prize. I'll write you a check later.
Cha-ching.
So here's the point.
I will donate all my winnings to the hurricane relief.
Oh, great.
So only
great.
fair.
And we're going to talk a little bit about hurricane relief because, we all knew the devastation in the Bahamas was bad, and the numbers there's a lot of people that have passed away because of the storm. There's a lot of people that they're injured because of the storm, but there's 70,000 homes have been completely annihilated. This isn't like and that would be bad anywhere. I mean, that'd be bad in the States. But if you were in the States, there are other states these people could migrate to get by and to survive. And unfortunately, a lot of these people are on an island and they do not have the means to go somewhere else. I would imagine they're walking around in shock. And we joked about the zombie apocalypse, but for them, it must feel that way. So I'd like to encourage you to take part in hurricane relief. Now, we're going to talk a little bit later about buy local. In that same vein, I would encourage you to support, if you're going to get into hurricane relief, you're going to give some money, give it to local organizations. And Jay has some up there. We have an attachment up there. If you would like a copy of this, just email me at onejoeknows@gmail.com. I will send you this as an attachment. There's a list there of all the supplies that they need for the hurricane relief, but you can also just donate money. I'm sure all of those organizations, don't worry folks, there's not a fire. I'm not quite sure it happens. It just happens every now and then.
We don't know that for sure, but
it's God. I'm sure if there's a fire, somebody will come tell me. So you don't need to just give those supplies, although those are appreciated. But money, the relief organizations can use to get whatever they're short of. And I just want you to think of it like this. A lot of us will go to Starbucks this week and spend $5, $6, $7 on a drink. A lot of us will go to lunch, by ourselves and drop 15 or 20 bucks. Imagine if 1,000 of us donated locally one lunch. What if 100,000 of us in Central Florida donated one lunch? I mean, this money multiplies quickly. What are my three organizations up there? I know Real Life Church, Salvation Army.
I'll put it back up here again for you, Joe. You got a Convoy for Hope at Real Life Church. We have the Samaritan's Purse, and we have Red Cross and Salvation Army. We have 4 up there.
4 up there. So to take part in this relief, I mean, just imagine what you would feel like if you had gone through the storm, and now that the storm is over, and you're still going through a storm. So please take part in that. Which leads me to my next issue. Avoid the GoFundMe pages. A lot of GoFundMe is doing the best job they can, but frankly, the scammers constantly are putting stuff up. Do not donate through a GoFundMe page. All hurricane relief should come through a local organization like we have put up. You have to be careful of the scams, and some of the scams you have to be careful of. Even in places like here, we had some rain, and there are already stories coming out of law enforcement about old people. People are going around knocking on doors, telling them they need to check on their water pressure or their water quality, see if there's any leaks. They need to check on their air conditioning system to make sure the power there was a surge in power. Literally dozens of these stories are coming out of particularly South Florida, but even locally. And they're scammers. They're going in and they're robbing people. They're taking, some of them violently. And I heard one story of a woman who went out to get some supplies after the storm is over. Her father was blind. When she came back, half the stuff was gone. It turns out somebody came, said they were from FEMA, and they were checking on him and making sure that his gas system was correct or his water wasn't contaminated. And it turns out they just cleaned him out. Well, the man sat there. So please avoid these things. Look, people like FEMA are not going to go door to door to check on you. They're going to ask you to call in. Your insurance company is not going to go door to door to check on you. They're going to need a phone call from you. Make sure you have verified information. People are not going to, these places are not going to call you directly. So don't give your information, particularly through this time, to anybody on the phone, because FEMA's not going to ask for any personal information. They're going to ask you to make a claim through their official websites if you need it. All right, enough about that. Leading me to, even here locally, particularly in South Lake, look, we all got tired of the worry, didn't we? I know I was tired. Weren't you tired, Jay? We talked a little bit about this yesterday.
I'm still exhausted, Joe.
Yeah, still a little bit tired. You're trying to get back into the groove. We basically have 2 full days, right? I know Doris is tired. She's laughing at me, but I know she is. She's
tired of us talking about the hurricane. She's ready to move on from that.
Well, that's the whole point of this. Is a lot of businesses had to shut down, and even businesses that didn't shut down, because of the number of people that weren't working, the number of people that were just home and hunkered down, their businesses were affected. And look, if McDonald's, Starbucks, these guys can absorb those kind of losses. You lose 3 or 4 days of business, you can absorb that. The people who have a harder time doing it are the small local businesses, the independent businessman, those folks that we love so much here at southlake.tv and on the Joe Knows South Lake show. So my encouragement to you is buy local. And look, these people, if you see the news that the beaches are open again and you're looking for something to do this weekend, take yourself out to the beach. Support our local neighboring communities. This storm came in on Labor Day. This is usually the weekend that a lot of these beach businesses use to pay their bills for the rest of the year. They're not getting a big Christmas rush. So my encouragement to you is, for the next several weeks, please, wherever you can, try to use the small businessman. Try to use the local businessman. I'm not saying don't use the corporations at all. We're not talking about a boycott. But if you have $10 to spend on lunch, try spending it someplace that the guy who owns the place spends his dollars here. So that's enough about that. Oh, finally, we are going to talk about really quickly Mizz Title Group. We're going to come back to that. Once again, we have Brittany Misciagno on from the Mizz Title Group. She's actually a phenomenal young lady. I've worked beside her for a long time, and I just want you to know that we're here for you, and we're going to talk about real estate. Today is all about real estate and housing. So we're going to go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. See you in a minute.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Clearmont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as local pro wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support local pro wrestling live.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
Welcome back, and once again, thank you to our sponsors. Without them, it wouldn't happen. I love them to death. We are with today with Brittany Misciagno. I'm just a mess this morning, aren't I?
It happens.
It happens. Happens to me a lot. Maybe I should go to bed a little earlier. No more Forge of Empires for Joe.
Game of Thrones for me.
I actually went and saw Lord of the Rings last night. It was on at the theater downtown. So, but we're not going to waste a lot of time on that. So Joe should go to bed earlier. That's what we've learned. I'd like to introduce you to Brittany Misciagno. She is the office manager and title officer for the Mizz Title Group. Many of you may not understand. We actually had some confusion in the office that, when you get in, just full disclosure, I am a licensed realtor working for Remax Titanium. They say powered by, I'm not sure why. I'm powered by coffee.
Yeah, aren't we all?
And so when I work with buyers, I work with people, there's processes in the transaction. In today's world, my job as a realtor is far less to help you find the house and far more to walk you through a transaction, a complicated process in today's world. And that's why we have people like Brittany. Okay, title companies hold the money for the deposit.
Yep.
And they make sure the transaction happens on time, that the transaction all comes together the way it's supposed to. Now, I'll let Brittany talk about some of this. Brittany, tell us a little bit about the Mizz Title Group.
Sure. So Mizz Title has actually been open for about 7 years now. We're a small office located off of State Road 50 in Claremont. And we're basically just dedicated to bringing closings from start to finish, bringing it from the start where it's the transaction or the contract actually to the closing table. It's a small office and it's just myself and one other colleague. So when people work with us, we actually work hand in hand with them. So we basically, in things that come up in the title search, we work with them to kind of let them know things that happen, have them help us gather all the necessary information, everything to help get it resolved. Things of that nature, such as mortgage payoffs, anything like that. So it's just a small office of myself and my colleague, and we're basically...
Let me interrupt you for a second, because I know you guys did well over $50 million worth of volume last year.
Yes, last year we did.
And that sounds like a lot for two people to do.
Yeah,
I understand that you work with... you have technology and services that help you process and get all of this done, so two people can be as efficient as an office full of 10.
Yeah, it's not just something that happens with just the two of us. It is like a whole, it's like basically a whole army. So we have our vendors and everything that help us. They send us all the information that we need.
Give us an idea of some of what the vendors might be.
The vendors would be like our premier lien search people. Those are the people who bring up the municipal lien search, help us with the estoppels as well. We have our underwriter who does the title search for us. We have our surveying company that orders the survey and does the survey for us, for the buyer. So it's just people like that kind of help the whole
this
thing
is
come
great,
to
because
fruition.
you just mentioned like 3 other processes.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of times people think that when you're buying a house, you basically put in the contract, you put down a deposit, and everything just happens magically, right?
Yeah. Not that easy.
There's a lot that goes on between, oh, I love this house, I want it, and oh, now I have the keys, I just signed the paperwork. Right? Give us an idea of what that title process. Can you give us kind of a step-by-step? I come to you, I say, hey, Brittany, my friends, Mr. Smith, just found the house they love. I'm sending you the contract and the deposit. What happens when you get that in the morning?
Right. So from there, then we receive the contract. In the contract, we see all the information, the property address. We see if there's an HOA, if they want us to order a home warranty for them, things of that nature. We gather all that and we input it into our software system. So then from there, we order the title search. The title search goes
Well,
through.
what do you do with the money? I just handed you $5,000. What happens to that?
That is held within our escrow account. So we hold that money. That's just basically the down deposit from the buyers in order for them to proceed with the transaction. So that money is held within escrow with us.
Okay, give me 1 second. We call that the binder deposit. And what that basically does is it binds the contract.
Yep.
That now, Brittany is the escrow officer. That means we call that binder escrow.
I deal with the money.
Brittany deals with the money, but just so you're all on the same page, it's called the binder deposit. You can't have a contract. Well, you could have a contract without it, but it's hardly enforceable. Okay,
Right.
and so we get that deposit and it goes to Brittany, as opposed to in the hands of the seller because they might spend it. Brittany, Florida is a title state, so we have title hold it. It's a third party
Yep.
that's not a party to the contract, so they can be objective about where it goes.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And we could have a whole nother show about escrow.
Yeah.
I just want to give people just a general idea. So,
Yeah.
what do you do with that money? When you get that money, where does that go?
It goes into our escrow account.
Okay, so you have a special account
So
for
it's
that.
saved in the file. It's basically part of the money for the transaction.
Okay, so you put that in a special account.
Yep.
Okay, you're governed by the state, aren't you? Governed
Oh yeah,
and licensed by the
we're
state?
heavily audited and everything. So
Okay.
yeah, we're actually one of the most heavily audited portions of real estate, oddly enough. So
So then the money goes into a special account.
Yep.
You send me a receipt. What happens next? You order the.
we order the title search.
Okay, now what is the title? What's the purpose of the title search?
The title search is basically to help kind of look into the property and the sellers. It sees if there's a mortgage payoff that needs to be obtained. It looks to see if there is a lien on the property, and if so, then we have to help get that resolved before the buyers can take over ownership of the home. And then it also tells us if we need to order an estoppel, if there's an HOA associated with the property.
Give us, if you wouldn't mind breaking down, what kind of a lien, we all know that there's probably a lien with a mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
but you're looking for other liens. What might somebody have a lien for?
There would be like a contractual lien. That's mostly what we see most of the time if there was a contractor that was sent out to the home and money has not been fully paid off.
So if somebody put in a screen enclosure or put
Right.
in a pool
Yep.
and they didn't pay the guy off, he
Right.
took a lien out on the house.
Right, yes.
And we want to know that. Why do we
Exactly.
want to know that?
We will want to know that because that would need to get paid off before the owners can take over ownership. Because as soon as the owners take over ownership, then they're essentially going to be the ones who are the ones who need to pay that money.
Okay, so
They would
that's
be the
important.
ones contacted.
If somebody puts a lien against a house, it doesn't prevent you from buying the house if you don't know about the lien. There's another reason we use title.
And that's what owner title policy is for.
An owner's title policy. Okay, now tell us now. So there's a difference between the title search, which tells us there's a problem. What is the purpose of the title insurance?
So the title insurance, there's lender coverage and there's also owner's coverage. So for the owner's title policy, it covers the purchasers, the buyers of the home. So in the event that in the search, we didn't find that there was a lien on the property, for instance. It happens, not every process is perfect, you know what I mean? So the owners are contacted and they're informed that there is a lien on the property. So then they would come back to us, the title company, and we would send that over to our underwriter who would kind of deem whether it's something that they would need to contact the sellers to cover or if it's something that our underwriter would have to take care of as far as a claim.
I want to tell you why this is valuable. And I know that Brittany's seen some problems, but she's not at liberty to talk about a lot of them. I have had transactions where we found a lien or what they call a cloud on the title. It means the title is not completely clear to transfer. So this lien was from 3 owners ago.
Yep.
And so my title people had to track down the heirs of somebody who had passed away 40 years ago.
Yep.
So that's why title insurance is important. Had they
So
missed
important.
that and it comes back against the buyer, then title insurance will pay all damages and repairs to
Right.
clear up that title.
Yes.
Okay, so and of course, I'm sure the lender's policy covers the lender.
Lender's
all right?
policy covers the lender, yep, for any legal claims that may be on the buyers of the home.
You mentioned estoppel.
Yes.
Okay, what is an estoppel?
So the estoppel is basically just an estoppel certificate from the HOA. In there, it would tell us if there's any past due HOA fees. It would tell us what the transfer fees as well for the transfer of homeowner to homeowner the fees that are associated with that.
So an estoppel is basically them saying it's okay to sell. We give you permission to sell this house.
Basically.
You don't owe us any more money.
Yes.
Okay. Or if you owe us money, this is the money you owe us.
This is the money. This
is what we need to have before you sell the house.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
Yes.
Now there's another piece too, isn't there? Once you get there's a different search. Isn't there a municipal lien? That's a different than the title search, right?
Yes. Municipal lien search is basically it sees if there is a lien on the home as well as sees if taxes were paid for the year.
Okay. So what is the municipal lien search for?
Municipal lien search is to basically see if utilities were past due, like county utilities, to see if taxes were paid for the year and if there are other liens on the home as well.
So I will tell you a little secret. If you own a home, they don't require a deposit because they know that they can just put a lien against your house. So if you're a renter, they require a deposit to turn on utilities. If you're an owner, they'll just turn them on as long as you prove you own the property.
Yes.
Okay. So we get through all the titles, all the stuff. Then we get to what? The place we like to hear, right? You work with the mortgage company,
Yep.
and we get
Work up figures, and then we get clear to close.
clear to close. This
The
everybody
three
goes,
words that everyone wants to hear.
That's
Yep.
right. Clear to close usually means we're setting the date and time of the
Yep.
closing, and then what happens in the closing? I mean, give us an idea of what happens in that closing process.
So in the closing process, we receive all of the docs that are necessary to be signed. We kind of go through all of them, make sure everything is set in stone. We make sure that exhibits, which is basically the legal description of the home, is attached to the deed and the mortgage, all those things that are necessary to be recorded. So then when we're in the closing room, we basically just go through, have everyone sign everything, and
So you make sure everything gets signed the way it's supposed to.
the way it's to be signed, I notarize.
Okay, you also make sure you guys take in the money from the mortgage company and you disperse it, right? To
Yes.
wherever it needs to go.
And that's after closing, yep. So we get everything basically from the lender as far as that. We figure out where everything like that goes to, whether there's a mortgage payoff. We obtain the payoff from them when we wire those monies, or we have to send it out in a check, things of that nature.
So, in the state of Florida, we are what's called a lien theory state. We use title. You can use a lawyer to do this. And there's some great lawyers out there that do it. I usually suggest that for terribly complicated transactions, 5 owners, 19 heirs. That's the kind of thing you want to bring a lawyer in on.
Exactly.
Multiple properties changing hands. But I tend to use title people, though, for my more simple, a buyer is buying a home to live in from a seller who is selling a home that they have used as a home. I just drew a blank. I had another question I was going to ask you. I forgot what it was. Oh, at any rate, so long story short, title makes the whole process simpler. And it makes sure that all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
So here, Brittany is the one that helps dot the I's and cross the T's.
Yes.
You know,
and we also like to provide knowledge to buyers as well. We like to make sure that they understand exactly what they're signing, exactly what owner's title policy is, because in closing rooms, there is a lot of people who even have bought 5 or 6 homes that still don't know the purpose of owner's title policy. So that's kind of our goal whenever people leave our office, is to make sure that they're knowledgeable of everything that they're signing and everything that they will be receiving after closing.
Do you know, the other thing is, and I've had good title people do this for me, is they're always aware of because we deal with a lot of the elderly, they're always
Yes.
aware of the state of mind of the person buying and the person selling, because as much as we'd like to believe that we're all ethical,
Right.
sometimes people aren't. You sometimes
Exactly.
become the last line of defense. And,
Yes.
and I've actually been able to serve a great many customers because of that kind of last line of defense. So,
Right.
you know, if you're a realtor, please use Mizz Title. I use them all the time. Brittany, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look over here and tell the audience how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, of course. So if you ever need to get in touch with myself or my colleague there at Mizz Title, you can always give us a call at 352-404-9711 or send me an email personally at Britt, BRITT, at MizzTitle.com.
I think we have your website up, Jay. Do we have that? Great.
Website and Facebook page.
Great. Website and Facebook page. So don't miss either. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I can direct you in the right place. Well, you know, Brittany, thank you for coming on out.
Thank
This
you for
has been
having me.
great.
Yeah.
I have to honestly say there was a small conflict because of the storm with my previous guest. Brittany stepped up into the gap for me, and from my heart. I truly, truly appreciate it.
Of course.
That's our time today. I just thanked Brittany, so I really, really appreciate her being here. I'd like to thank the sponsors once again. You know, people like Mary Rhodes at the mortgage firm, Les Allier, I always mess up his name, Les Allier at Local Pro Wrestling, and Erica at Erica's Tea Room. Just have a close place in my heart. I'd like to thank them very much. Look, if you know anybody that should be on Joe Knows South Lake, please reach out to me at 352-360-8387 or reach out to me at onejoeknows@gmail.com. If you want to be a guest, same contact info. Just reach out. We'll have some coffee and see where you fit in. Also, if you know anybody that would like to talk about some advertising opportunities, you know, in something that's brand new and cutting edge, now is the time to get in. There's great value here, and I would really appreciate your support. Well, that's all we have for today. I'm Joe Carlisle, and I know South Lake, and now you know South Lake, and title processes in the real estate transaction. Don't ever forget, there is greatness inside you, and I'm going to remind you, challenge you, dare to let that greatness out today. I am Joe Carlisle. This has been Joe Knows South Lake, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake.